The person who can't imagine a single hour of their existence without the comforting, blue glow of a screen isn't just plugged in. They are the first true digital natives, born into a world that was already pre-filtered, pre-packaged, and algorithmic before they could even form their first sentence. If you walk into a college library or a late-night diner in suburban America today, you'll see them. The AirPod Barricade is always up, the hoodie is pulled low, and their thumb is performing the infinite scroll, a rhythmic, hypnotic movement that has become the heartbeat of a generation. They move with what they call main character energy, a specific kind of internal cinema where they are the directors, editors, and audience of their own lives. But if you look closer, past the curated vibe and the aesthetic filters, you'll see a profound, analytical detachment. They aren't just living, they are observing their lives from the outside, constantly wondering how this moment would look as a 10-second clip on a For You page. This is Generation Z, and their psychology is a complex architecture built inside a digital panopticon, where privacy is a myth and authenticity is the rarest currency of all. They are the most hyper-connected and yet the most radically isolated generation in human history, forged in the blue light of a world that literally never sleeps. To understand the hidden engine of this mind, you have to realize that for them, there is no offline version of the self. While millennials remember the transition and Gen X values the invisible life, Gen Z was born into a reality where identity is a playlist that can be edited, deleted, or rebranded in real time. This has created a psychological state of hyperfluidity. They don't see identity as a fixed mountain to be climbed, but as a vibe to be inhabited for a season. This is why they are so comfortable with shifting labels, whether it's their gender, their politics, or their aesthetic. But this fluidity comes with a terrifying, unspoken cost: algorithmic anxiety. They are the first humans to have their self-worth measured by a machine that knows their insecurities better than they do. If the algorithm stops serving them, if their engagement drops, they feel a deep sense of existential erasure. This is the generation that grew up with the like as a biological necessity. They carry an industrial-strength cringe detector, a high-frequency radar that can spot a corporate relatability attempt or a fake influencer moment from a mile away. They don't respect authority based on titles. They respect the real. If you aren't being vulnerable, if you aren't being unhinged in your honesty, you simply don't exist in their universe. They are the ones who turn delusion into a coping mechanism, with the phrase, Delulu is the solulu, acting as a psychological shield against a world that feels increasingly broken and unsolvable. Have you noticed how this person treats a phone call like a home invasion? It's not that they are socially awkward, it's that they value controlled vulnerability. A text, a DM, or a voice note can be edited, reconsidered, and polished. A live conversation is too raw, too unpredictable, and too analog for a brain that is wired for the efficiency of the scroll. This is the generation of the soft life and quiet quitting, but don't mistake that for laziness. It is a radical act of psychological preservation. They watch their millennial older siblings burn out in office cubicles and their Gen X parents lose their houses in 2008, and they've collectively decided to opt out of the race before the starting gun even fires. They are dangerously individualistic because they have realized that the traditional institutions, the government, the education system, the corporate ladder are all NPCs, or non-player characters, in the game of their lives. They are building their own economies on platforms that didn't exist 10 years ago, trading in the currency of attention and niches. They are the pioneers of the moral economy, where they would rather be unemployed than work for a company that doesn't align with their specific ethical code. This creates a state of hyper-awareness that is both a superpower and a curse. They are carrying the weight of a dying planet, a housing crisis, and a global mental health epidemic in their pockets every single day. Every notification is a potential catastrophe, and that weight has turned into a form of cynical activism. They don't believe they can save the world, but they refuse to let the world go down without a meme to mark the occasion. There is a meaningful truth rising out of this digital fog, however, and it's a truth that is finally killing the concept of shame. Because Gen Z was born into a world of oversharing, they have accidentally destroyed the secret. They are the ones who talk about their therapy sessions, their medications, and their neurodivergence as casually as someone else talks about the weather. They have destigmatized the human struggle in a way that Gen X and Boomers find shocking. Their invisible power is their radical, unfiltered honesty. By refusing to play the game of professionalism or politeness, they are forcing the rest of the world to be more real. They are the truth seekers of the 21st century. They have decoupled success from wealth and attached it to alignment. If they are mid, they will tell you they are mid. If they are struggling, they will post a video of themselves crying in their bedroom under LED strip lights. This isn't attention-seeking in the traditional sense. It's a desperate attempt to find a human connection in a world populated by bots and AI. They are the ones who are finally saying, the American dream is a meme, so let's build a reality we can actually breathe in. They have replaced the white picket fence with community care and mutual aid. They are redefining the family into something that isn't bound by blood, but by vibe, shared trauma, and digital proximity. They are the architects of the real, trying to ensure that as we move into an era of virtual reality, we don't lose the one thing that makes us human, our messy, unedited, algorithmic souls. Look at their relationship with irony and memes through a deeper neuropsychological lens. Why is their humor so abstract, so deep-fried, and so seemingly nonsensical? It's because it's a defense mechanism against a world that is too heavy to handle directly. They use Gen Z humor to process school shootings, climate collapse, and economic despair. A meme isn't just a joke. It's a cultural shibboleth, a way to say, I am in on the joke, therefore, I am safe. They are the most dangerously sarcastic generation because their sarcasm isn't a shield like Gen X. It's a language. They have a profound capacity for pattern recognition. They can see the matrix of the internet and manipulate it to their advantage. They are the ones who can cancel a multi-billion-dollar corporation in an afternoon or turn a random song from 1974 into a global #1 hit. This is their invisible power, the power of the viral collective. They don't need a leader. They just need a trend. They are a swarm of hyper-individualists who can act with terrifying coordination when the vibe is right. But underneath that power is a deep-seated loneliness of the infinite. They have 10,000 digital friends, but feel like they have no one to sit with them in the actual silence. They are the hyper-connected solitary, searching for a real that hasn't been touched by a filter or a sponsor. Does this feel a bit too familiar? Maybe you're the person who feels like you're performing, even when you're alone in your room, or the person who feels a crushing wave of FOMO, even when you're doing exactly what you want to do. If that's you, know that you aren't fake. You are a pioneer. You are the first generation to navigate the total merger of the human psyche with the machine. Your main character energy isn't a flaw. It's a survival strategy in a world that is trying to turn you into a data point. Your quiet quitting isn't a sign of weakness. It's a sign that you have a soul that refuses to be monetized. You are the invisible architects of a more honest future. By choosing to be unhinged, by choosing to be vulnerable, and by choosing to find joy in the niche, you are winning a game that was designed for you to lose. You are the bridge to a world where we no longer have to pretend to be perfect. Your worth isn't in your reach or your follower count, it's in your resonance. You are Generation Z. You are the truth generation, and you are finally realizing that the aesthetic life isn't as beautiful as the authentic one. The world doesn't need more influencers. It needs more humans who are brave to be mid. And that, in a world of filters and noise, is the most dangerous and powerful thing of all. The next time you see that person with the AirPods and the glowing screen, don't pity their isolation. Respect their resilience. Because they are the ones who are building the world we all have to live in, one meme and one radical truth at a time. They are the ones who will still be searching for the real when the screens finally fade to black and they're the only ones who might actually find it. Ultimately, the story of Generation Z isn't a tragedy of digital addiction. It's an epic of reclaiming the human. They are the ones who are taking the broken, algorithmic pieces of the world and making a mosaic that actually reflects the truth of the heart. They are learning that stability isn't a 90 to 5 job, it's a vibe you cultivate within yourself. They are learning that purpose isn't a career path, it's a way of being in the world. They are the generation that is finally unlearning the lies of the dream so they can hear the truth that has been there all along. They are the masters of the pivot, the keepers of the real, and the guardians of authenticity. They are the ones who will teach the next generation that it's okay to be small, to be quiet, and to be happy without an algorithm telling you why. They are the invisible giants of empathy, holding up a world that is trying to turn us all into code. And when the history books are written, they won't be remembered for their TikToks or their slang. They will be remembered as the generation that stared into the blue light and didn't blink. The generation that found their soul inside the machine and brought it back out into the sun. They are dangerously honest. They are beautifully unhinged. And they are exactly what we need to survive the future.